Bro, I look great in this camera right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Uh, I have no energy for whoever's watching this. I have none. Zero. So, I don't know. I mean, I had a pretty good week in the market. I had a great week in the market. I mean, a great week in the market, I guess. Uh, I don't know how that just popped up out of nowhere. Yeah, yeah, my positions are well, you can't see my positions because my head is over it, but how do I turn off my camera again? Let's see. Hold on. I'm gonna check something real quick so I can see how what things I have to turn off my camera because I know I have hotkeys for it, but I just don't know what they are. I also just have a button to turn it off, don't I? Oh no, I don't. Or let me not hit random buttons and fuck some shit up. Uh, no, main content. What are you talking about? Traded back this Friday. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, okay. All right, cool. It's a ticker? No, I didn't trade whatever ticker that is. I don't even that ticker didn't even pop up on my list at all. I have no clue what that is. Okay, so green screen background F12. Okay, yeah. Cool. So my positions are right here. These are my positions. So I only have 3 positions. Yeah. I'm pretty sure whatever back is yeah. I mean, this looks like something I should have popped up on my scan. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, this wow. I mean, there was no way to really trade this. I mean, by the time this started going up, there's like no volume here. You wouldn't have been alerted of this stock at all until it started going up like this, and then there's no entries. So looks like there's a decent entry here, but then you would have got stopped out anyways. But yeah, this pretty much wasn't on my list on Friday. But yeah, looks like a killer move, I guess. 400% move, almost 400% move. Yeah, looks good. But no, I didn't personally trade this one. Yeah, I didn't. I don't know, but I'm trading pretty good. I haven't lost a trade in like 3 days. Yeah, I haven't personally lost a trade in like 3 days, so I don't know. I mean everything's going pretty smooth in my opinion. But I didn't also Friday I wasn't even home all the day, so I didn't really capitalize on everything. I think the trades I was looking at was CGC. I looked at CGC too late, but I should have got in on an hourly. But I got in on ACB on the hourly, the top of this hourly bar. So I still got in pretty late. But ACB, OGI, I think no, OGI didn't have one. What was it? SNDL then? Yeah, SNDL had an hourly breakout. A couple of different stocks had an hourly breakout, but ACB and CGC hourly breakouts was very telegraphed and very strong. They were like you could have got some very good there's no real reason. Uh I just I just didn't I got into both late. CGC was already up 1,000% by the time I got in. So I just took the one that had a better breakout in my opinion, which is ACB. You can see there's a clean range here. CGC gapped up, and you should take if something gaps up, you should be looking to take at the gap. But you could have also took CGC at the top of this bar here. But CGC kind of just gapped out of his range, and then it went. Um, don't really matter either way it goes. I mean, either setup would have been great for the day, in my opinion. CGC was the better setup though. CGC was the one I'd rather be in. I was in CGC earlier. I think I took CGC this day here or this day, one of these days, and then I day traded it, and now it's up 1,000,000%. But I mean, that's what happens a lot. So I don't personally take it. I don't know. Execution's just trash. So if I learn how to hold a stock, I'll learn how to be rich. Seems rather easy, but it's not. Anyways, let's go to the backwatch list. Like I said, I got a lot of things to do today. I have some hours before I have to get out of here and start moving around. I mean, I already did like 1,000,000 things today already, to be honest. Yeah. MMND failed. I mean, it's trying to break. It's working, but it's not working. Like it broke out. We was looking at trading this. But it didn't consolidate. And this is why I try to make sure things kind of put in like a real consolidation range. But it's still breaking out nonetheless. I mean, each day is going up more, hasn't broke its lows. So setup's still working. It's just ugly. It's an ugly ride. I think this week the themes that were hot was energy, basic materials. That's gold, copper, aluminum, silver, blah blah blah, stuff like that. That's what basic materials is. So we got basic materials, aerospace and defense. We had weed, and I think that was the main ones. There was some more, but I think that was the main ones. Department stores was pretty decent this week, but at the same time, they don't really move, so it's not really anything to pay attention to per se. I feel like I missed something. Yeah, I did. I missed this. What Cava? We could actually flag that one. I think this one's setting up a little bit. Yeah. Okay, you gotta go, right? Yeah, because you look trash. Yeah, we had a pretty good week this week. I'm not gonna lie. The market was pretty strong overall. A lot of opportunities. I did okay this week. Based on how many opportunities that we had, I did make some money. I did capitalize off many of those opportunities, but at the same time, like I don't know what card's doing. It's just grinding up. I got to get rid of it. I mean, I didn't have to, but I guess it's just like grinding up. But yeah, I think this week was like a decent entry on a couple of energy stocks. I didn't get in any. I probably won't get in any unless there's no other themes to trade. I mean, energy works. It's just a hard one to trade. It's just way harder to trade. And it's just a lot more easier stuff to trade. A lot easier stuff to trade. That was terrible English. My goodness. Yeah, you can go. But utilities was the other one. And I'm in utilities. Utilities, it was like independent power sources for utilities. That was smoking hot this week. Once again, a slower group, so it doesn't move, but based on like the ADR to his move is really strong. So I was rocking with it. I got in. There was a couple of them that was strong. We also had home builder stuff that broke out this week too. But we kind of knew home builder's been it's been a shaky roller coaster pretty much. It's been an up and down. It's been a very, I don't know. It hasn't been a linear move. It breaks out, then it pulls back, breaks out, pull back, breaks out, pull. I don't. It's been pretty difficult to trade. I don't really know why though. Home building years ago was pretty linear, like, and I mean, a couple of months ago, like January, it was also linear. I'm trying to see if, like, I should flag this because this is not gonna pop up in my radar again. This is not. Uh, yeah, this aluminum one's pulling back, but I guess it's holding. Yeah, sure. Biotech has cooled off a ton. Biotech is pretty much virtually going sideways right now while the rest of the market is running up, or ran up this week, I should say. But yeah. Okay. We should have probably flagged that. Yeah, the energy stuff is just ugly. It's some ugly consolidations. It's very mean reverty. It's just bruh, trading is just way harder than your average breakout trade or theme trade. It's just a very shaky thing to be a part of. Was that CVNA? I didn't mean to give that the boot. No, you stay. You were supposed to get the boot, and you can also get the boot. I'm not gonna lie, you look like. I thought we was getting a clean setup. This looks like a clean break because you got a clean break here, and then you could possibly get another one here. But yeah, I guess we'll flag it. I probably most likely won't trade it. It doesn't matter. I wanted to get an MSOS. I don't know how I didn't figure out a way to get in here. This seems like my type of trade on this day here. But I'm not gonna lie, I just wasn't. I don't think I was really paying attention. Like, cause I seen it was down pretty bad on Thursday, and I said that don't make sense because most of the weed stocks are strong as hell. And I was like, cool. Like in my head, I said, well, you should just get in because there's no way that the weed sector's running and this is red. Wow. CGC, GRWG, OGI, all these other ones was running. And then I'm looking at, the cannabis ETF tank. And I'm like, that don't make sense. Like, that's going to change. But I didn't take the trade. And I didn't even look back at it to see if it was going to go green. That's why you need alerts. I don't really use alerts. I think that might be part of my execution errors is that I really don't rely on alerts like that. I don't really set alerts. Yeah, if I was you, I just wouldn't trade solar. I don't know like almost anyone who made money in solar. Like solar is probably one of the hardest things to trade. Weed is also very hard to trade, but I've definitely made money on weed for sure. But weed is also pretty hard to trade because weed is a very temporary theme. It breaks out for like 4 or 5 days and then it completely just erodes almost immediately. And that happens consistently, like all the time. And also a lot of times when weed starts to illiquidate, if you hold it for too long, or not illiquidate, I'm sorry. When weed starts to tank or go up, if you hold it too long, it goes back to being illiquid. So that's kind of tough to deal with in its own right. Yeah. Coin. Crypto was also hot this week, but then it also wasn't hot. Like it had like a sector breakout, then it had like a sector flop. That was, that's crypto for you though. So I don't know. I didn't take a crypto trade this week. I wanted to really bad, but yeah, I just didn't. Because I was just like, man, Bitcoin already up so much, and Bitcoin wasn't really moving. It wasn't breaking out of a new range or something. I'm like, I'm probably not gonna take this. And I just didn't. And I just said, if it does, I'll just wait for another leg up or something. And yeah, the leg up didn't happen. It just went down. It just tanked. So I was gonna wait for consolidation, which would have been like next week or something, but it just fell back into range. I guess QFIN we can. Yeah, you can see CSLK looked like it was breaking out. It's kind of holding its range. It's not doing bad, but a lot of the other cryptos tanked, which, in my opinion, not that good. Yeah. So if we look at the crypto stocks, all right, Wolf is strong. I don't know what this one is and how it's in crypto. I actually don't know what this one is. It doesn't look like a crypto stock. I'm getting it out of here. But you see HUD pull back, that pulled back, MSTR. MSTR went the first day, but you can see like it lost. Like if you'd have took the breakout here, like you'd have got destroyed. Hive, you can see a lot of these not holding his gains, right? So this is I mean, this is crypto 101. Like this is what crypto does. Very hard sector to trade, but also very profitable sector when you catch it at the right time. And the right time is usually when Bitcoin is actually breaking out. That's usually the right time. There was no EPs on Friday. That was my opinion. Yeah, I mean, this ain't really doing it as an EP for me personally, but it looks good. I mean, if someone got in it, looked like they had an opportunity to make money. That's all you can really ask for. But yeah, this has no pre-market value. I don't know why anyone would trade this. Me personally, an EP with no pre-market value is just another trade. You're just trading. You're just trading, hoping something goes up. There's nothing showing that there's a demand here. There's literally no pre-market volume here. There's literally, look at this. Look at this. There's literally none. There's just dashed lines here. So yeah, if these are the EPs that people are trading or gappers that people are trading, they have no significance to anything. None. Zero. I don't even care what the news is. The news can be they made $1 million deal or a $200 million deal with the government. I would not care because what the market is saying here with that no pre-market value, the market is saying that they didn't give a fuck about whatever happened here. So it just had earnings. Yeah, the market didn't care that it had earnings. No one cared. Literally no one. No one. No one at all. Look at this red day here. This red day right here traded more value than the day that it had its earnings news. In other words, no one cared about this. If no one cares about a stock, there's no way it can be an EP. There's no way. No way. There's no way. Until like, someone actually cares, there's some interest and demand here, something that's showing that there's multiple people, big name players that want to jump into the stock, you don't have a trade. The whole moral essence of an EP is that there is guys who want the stock. Big name people, not me and you, people who actually matter in this world. Companies that can push the stock forward are jumping into this. And the biggest indicator of that, maybe the only real indicator of that in real time, is post-market and pre-market value. If you do not see post-market and pre-market value, then there's just no way that you can say that some big name player is getting into this stock. You see this stock right here? This stock is SLRX. I have no clue what this stock is, but look at this volume. Look at this volume. You see this volume compared to, and this volume, what happened when? This volume happened all in pre-market. Now, who in the right mind would buy a random stock in post-market? I'm sorry, post-market. So clearly, this can be a gapper trade because literally it was trading no volume before. This is what it looked like before. No one cared about this stock. Magically, now it's trading 2 million plus shares. How did that happen? There's some big name players, some big name fund that said, oh, we got some good news coming for this stock. Someone believed in the stock to do this. But WS, this thing is trading pretty much its normal volume. It's a recent IPO, which is great. I don't know really much about recent IPO gappers. I haven't studied it at all. I don't really care to study it per se, but it might be something there where maybe recent IPO gappers don't get the same type of institutional support as something that's been around for years or something. I don't know. Because look at SLRX, been around for years. So their company's still sticking around. Maybe institutional support doesn't come for IPOs or something. So that could be a case here why this is not trading any. But no, in general, I don't trade stuff that don't have pre-market or post-market value. There has to be some type of indication for there's a bare min indication that someone who is more powerful than you, a bigger player in the market than your average Joe like me or some other trader, pretty much an institution, a firm, a bank, someone who says like, nah, we believe in this company and we're going to place money in this company. No company is going to place 2.6 million shares into something randomly. And they're doing it all throughout a time where the market is usually not traded. And this is usually coupled by some type of positive news, right? So if we go look at SLRX, why did someone, because, sometimes it's just people pumping stocks. That happens for sure. But listen, 322. So this is the day that this stock came out, and you can see it got pumped in the aftermarket at 4:05 p.m. So at 4:05 p.m., right when the volume came in, you can see the volume came in. That says 4. So this is at 4:05 p.m. The volume came in, right? So right at that moment, the volume came in. They got a patent enrollment for a phase 1.5 clinical trials. They released their earnings. They're doing all this stuff. And then boom, all of a sudden, this is a sign that institutional support came. It's up 60% or whatever. I don't know. Who cares? This happens all the time. It shows that it's getting backing by someone that's more powerful than you. Right? And that's a key part of trading a gap or trade. That's a key part of it. You can also trade gap or trades that's just pump stocks for sure. But don't get me wrong, but yeah, WS is not going to pump. Like, bro, it has no characteristics of a pump stock. ADR low, gap percent low. What is this, like a 10% gap? Yeah, almost a 10% gap. There's nothing here that's going to show you that this stock is about to be pumped. So pretty much you're taking this trade that you're taking this as just a random trade pretty much at this point. Like there's no real indication that this stock is going to be making a huge move because it doesn't seem like it's receiving institutional support and it's not being pumped. So you're buying this stock on the basis that it's just going to find its way up. It's going to grind up. Who is going to make the stock keep floating upwards? Who is going to do that? Me, you, other people like us? Or is it better to bet that someone more powerful than us who has more control of the market, is a bigger player, is going to trade this and make it go up? Which would be an institution or a bank or a firm or whoever, a big name player who can actually provide the volume and support to change the stock. That's not me. So, I can't just choose what stock goes up and down. I can't do that. But the truth is institutions can. If they wanted to spend all their money on making the stock go up, they easily could. And when they buy in at these points, it's usually a good sign that, hey, we think this is a good stock. Man, bro. All right, so I think I went over the whole backwatch list, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Yeah. All right, so let's go over my trades that I took on Friday. Friday, I traded IDN. Man. Friday, I traded IDN. I knew it was a pump. It had decent news, but I knew it was a pump because it had no volume, but it was just up significantly. So like someone was pumping it, right? And the morning it was like illiquid when I took it, so I traded out of it, man. Ah, my goodness! But look at this stupid ass fucking run up. This shit really, and it irked my nerves. But this is what I took the 5-minute opening in the morning because the ADR was like non-existent in the morning. So the ADR was like 5. It was like 5. Yeah, something like 5 ADR. It was something like that. And I should have got in like here. I should have got in at the top of this 5-minute candle, but some reason I got in super late and I got in at 225. Pretty much had I got in 224. I pretty much had a 10% stop. Whatever. And yeah, like this thing, the price action showed that it probably wasn't just going to tank, because if it wanted to tank, wow, it tested the lows, went up, tested the lows again, went back up, tested the recent lows. And then I said, man, enough. And I sold out at 225. Soon as I sold out, man, Bro, 35% move. Later came back. It dropped again. Ran up even more. This thing ran like 100%. I think, no, it ran like 60, 70% from my entry. So I got in at 224. It ran 54% from my entry. And I made like a penny on this stock. I made literally I literally sold out at 225 and I got in at 224, but it ran to 347. I can't keep choosing the best opportunities on the day and then failing to execute miserably. This was a great opportunity today. A great opportunity. This was like a 6. I mean, if I'd have got in at the right time, this was literally like a massive trade. So I should have had a 7% stop pretty much. It was like 7.3. And from my entry, it would have closed at 43%. That's still like a 5R trade, I guess. Yeah, no, that's like a 6R trade. Yeah, 7 times 6 is 42. So it would have been like a 6R trade. That's a pretty decent trade. I mean, it was wide, but really, I had opportunities to add to this. Like, I don't know. It was just illiquid though. So I can't really blame myself because it was trading no volume. It was literally trading no volume. Like the spread was literally like 2%. And I was sitting there, I'm like, man, that's not good. The spread being that low. Like, look at this. Right here, it traded 7.3K shares at $2. That's literally no volume. Right here, it's trading 19K, 6.2K. The spread was just everywhere until the volume came in. When the volume came in, it was liquid. But, you know, now we trading 100K shares. But before then, we was trading none. So I got in early. Maybe, I don't know. Like, I don't know, man. I got in early and you know, this is low float, low market cap, gapped up 22%. No real amazing or great news, but the company did have like positive outlook. I guess they were like, no, we have everything set up to make a lot of money in the future. They were saying stuff like that in the press release or whatever, but all right, man. Stos Bose. I'm pretty sure that's it. Take it easy. But yeah, this man, this could have been a killer trade. This would have been the best trade of the week for me. It might have been the best trade in 2 weeks for me. But actually no, I think Go EV was the best trade for this week. Even if I did catch that one, it'd have been like a close tie because I did a pretty good move on Go EV. Also had a pretty good trade on EH too. I don't know. Either way it goes, this could have been this could have been a great trade, but I don't know. I blew it. It's traded 514 times its regular average volume. So yeah. But that was one trade that I took. The other trade that I took today, no, I don't think I took this trade today. Okay, well I took ACB, and I took ACB on this breakout right here. And I used a 5-minute to time up my entry. So yeah, this surprisingly, this is like a 4 hour trade. I pretty much took the break of this bar here. Right here when this volume came in right here on this bar. So and I just took it. I don't know if I got in right at here. I actually don't know my exact entry. I think my entry is like 444 actually. Yeah, my entry is 444. So my entry is like 444 and my stop was like 2.7. And yeah, it went up 10% from there. So I'm up like 3R on this trade. Pretty good trade, regardless. And if it keeps going up, well, I was up like 3R. Now it's at 477 instead of 495 or whatever it was at, 492. So this was a good trade. Once again, the weed stocks is in theme. They've been running crazy. I got in late. I mean, I got in CGC. No, I got in ABC actually. ACB. I got in ACB on this day here. And then I sold out. That is correct. I got in ACB this day here, and then I did it as a day trade. because I usually most low float small cap stocks I day trade. This isn't, I guess this isn't low float anymore. I don't know, but it was, or maybe I was just treating it like it. I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, this had an hourly setup, and the hourly setup should have been the focus, but I didn't see it in time. I seen it afterwards when I was analyzing how could I got into this trade. But I think CGC was definitely the best trade of the day. An hourly breakout, an hourly theme breakout. Very easy to trade. Pretty much you just look at the hourly. You take the range of the hourly here, and you can heads and tails it however you want to draw your trend lines or whatever. I don't know. Like, trend lines don't really matter to me, in my personal opinion. You don't really need them. Just train your eyes without trend lines is my personal opinion. You can see it gapped above the most recent range. Once again, gapped above with volume. This is a clear showing that the stock wants to do something. What is that something? I don't know. Usually it means go up, right? Sometimes it means go down. If it gaps up and then it immediately starts to fail. But you had the market, not the market, the stock was giving you, actually the market was, but the stock was giving you a clear indication that it wanted to do something, right? It was in range, it gapped out of range on huge volume. It's either going to tank or it's going to explode. It was giving you, most of the time, 90% of the time, it's going to do one or the other. It's going to go up or it's going to, it's going to completely fail. So when you bring in all this volume on a gap, right, it's a showing of something. On top of that, these stocks have been in theme. If we go over the cannabis list for the week, we can just go over the hourlies for the week. Look at this. All these are going up, right? So clearly, most of the weed ones, the actual weed ones that people trade, like CGC, ACB, SNDL, Tilray, GRWG, OGI, all the other ones are, I don't even know what half the other ones are. But you can clearly see, this was just strong. So usually how I would trade this, a gap on an hourly break, I would literally just take the entry of the day. Maybe have an ADR stop. I'll get to AMTX after this. But yeah, this is I don't know what AMTX is. I think I was looking at it though. I don't think it gave me an entry, or maybe I just slipped over it. Anyways, so you got a pretty much, even if you'd entered at the top of this range, I probably wouldn't have done that. You usually want to take a gapper I would have took a gapper like this on a 5-minute entry. So it gapped up. So now it's above range. I'm just taking a break of the 5-minute, right? If you take the break of the 5-minute, you still had a similar entry, which was like 5.74, and it went up 62%. So, you do the math. That's a 12-hour trade. It's 12. If you risk 1% of your account, that's 12% of your account, right? So this is definitely the best trade of the day, in my opinion. It gave good risk reward, gave a great setup. You could have also took ABC, ACB. ACB, you can look at the same thing, very similar. This one didn't gap above his range, so then you would take the break of whatever range you see, right? So you can draw a range here. That's what I would have did. I like personally using horizontal tops as ranges. That's me. Some people like to use, vertical ones. You could have did whatever you want. Like your entry is going to be similar regardless, right? You'll see most of the time if you do something reasonable with your trend lines, which is why I don't think there's necessary. You can draw them 10 different ways. Your entry is going to be usually on the same day, the same hour. It's not going to change that much, right? Anyway, so we can get rid of this. And what is this? So this is like a 2.5% entry, right? If you took at the top of this bar and you use the low of that entry time frame. So you entered on an hourly break, whatever. So because the hourly broke this range, you enter on an hourly, use the low of the candle of the hourly. You can use the low of the candle of the last hour. I don't know. I would just use the low of candle of this hour, low candle of the hourly, and you get a 2.5% entry, pretty much 2.6 actually. It goes up 25% from here. This is like a 10-hour trade. So, I don't know. That's That's pretty easy. My camera was off this whole time. Anyways, that's pretty easy. That's a pretty easy trade to make, right? That's not hard to trade. It's a very easy setup. You're not doing nothing crazy here. Stock is in theme, has an hourly breakout, and you're usually going to want to refer to the hourly for faster moving momentum stocks. The hourly, from my perspective, my opinion, has better consolidation ranges on it. All right, so I'm going to actually mark both of these up, and I'm just going to. I don't really use trend lines. I hate using trend lines to try to show something off. But I mean, this is nice and orderly, like my opinion. Let's bring out the software. Okay. What was that? I don't even know what I just did. Hit the wrong button. Low candle hourly. Stop. This is 2.6% risk. Okay. What do we want to do? Orange. I think orange is good. Anyways, text. We'll just say entry, breakout bar, entry. Okay, we have to redo this now. Breakout bar, entry. Where did my mouse go? Of course. Now I'm pissed. Did not want that. Let's just start off with the what are the attributes? So, momentum trade, in theme, hourly consolidation, sector breakout. Notice that it is still small cap. Has a history of exploding. We can go over a lot of stuff with this, but yeah, I'm not going to. I mean, some of this stuff should just be. You come to the stream. It's basic. So this stands for low candle. Low candle on hourly. LOC on hourly, right? Your entries here. So we got a breakout bar entry. Breakout bar. I did it again. I don't care this time. Text. Elevated. Elevated. Elevated volume on breakout bar, right? So, I mean, so it's a 10R trade. We shouldn't have done that. But what do we want to do? We do yellow. And then we'll say swing trade. Swing trade on theme. First day is a 10R trade. It went up like 20. It went like 25.5% on the first day. I spelled first wrong. All right, cool. So this is type of, I mean, for me personally, this type of hourly stuff you want to trade, right? In thing, all right, how do I say this? Here we go. It's in thing. Should probably grab the ADR. Cancel that. Try this again. Try to get a lot of this stuff in here. A lot of the details, the ADR, stuff like that. ACB. What? What day was this? 3-21/2024. Yep. And then we got to do CGC. So we also have to do CGC. All right. Well, don't really want to. This should have been wrong color. All right. Orange. Gap out of range. Gap out of. You can also just use like a gap fill. Like if it fills the gap, then you get rid of it. But I don't. I personally, that's going to be a lot more risk. But 5-minute opening range could be. I mean, it's a 5-minute opening range. It's not like the highest success rate for entry, but I mean, there's no perfect entry in the first place. I mean, it's really about the risk reward that you build up. Um, you know, that I mean, that's really gonna be it. If something opens up with a wide 5-minute opening range high, that doesn't mean the trade is dead. That means you should probably figure out another way to get into it. Uh, your risk management system is just that. It's a risk management system. It's not some type of superior method that's going to make the trade go up or down. It doesn't decide if the trade goes up or down. It only decides the amount of money you make on the trade. That's literally what a risk reward management system is. It like whether you use the 1 minute or the 5 minute or the hourly or whatever you get in at the open, that does not change how the stock is going to act. So yeah, like so if the 1 minute's too wide or the 5 minutes too wide or you don't believe in the open, you can look for breakout intraday breakouts. You can look for hourly breakouts. You can look for other stuff. So, but yeah, just make sure like the main thing is you want to be maximizing the risk reward based on how often you think you can win on these or how often you actually do if you actually ran back tests or looked at your stats personally. Anyways, loaf candle. Okay. This is a 12-hour trade. Let's turn this to yellow. Our trade risking 5%. Yeah, it was like 5% stock. I guess we can say cannabis. I don't know how to spell cannabis. Cannabis theme. We'll just save this one. And then we'll make a short with both of these. All right, cool. All right. So someone was asking about AMTX. I don't know what AMTX is. I probably seen it, but I also don't know. Oh, no, I did see it and I didn't trade it at all, which I was quite annoyed with. But yeah. I was looking at it this day. So how would I have handled this? I wouldn't have traded this on a gap up. I can tell you that much. Now, personally, you could have traded this on the first day here because you wouldn't want to take this here. This shouldn't even be on your radar here. You see all the volume came in the second day, and I don't know. I don't know how much it gapped up that day, but I don't know if this actually happened. Like this run up happened on this day. It doesn't look like because it didn't trade any volume. Either way it goes, it made an 18% move. It's in one of the this sector of energy is not actually that high, that great right now, but it is in energy, which more or less is hot. Like energy is doing pretty well, right? So if energy is doing well and something's gapping up, it's definitely something to pay attention to. So I think I didn't pay attention to it this day, but I also try to avoid energy as much as possible, as much as I possibly can. Um, This first day here, I was looking at it actually right here after it made, a decent move. So obviously when I see something trading way more volume than usual, uh, it's up on a day, a decent amount, it hits my scans. So now it hits my scans and it's looking like this, right? I was looking for some more consolidation. It didn't give it to me, but it didn't broke down. So I didn't trade it. And I also wasn't really paying that much attention to it. And then you can obviously see it kind of just grinded up from there. The next day, I don't know what it did, but I was watching it the next day and I was watching it on Friday. As you can see, it's in my watch list. So I put it on my watch list on Friday, but it didn't give an entry. So I mean, if a stock doesn't give an entry, I mean, there's almost nothing you can do. Yeah. This would have been the best entry you could have had here, but it's not. The consolidation's not really that good. So I don't really go for consolidations that look crappy, and that one looked crappy in my opinion. And you could have took this here, and I wouldn't be mad at someone taking this, but I personally aim for. I'm starting to trade these as consolidations only at the top of the range, right? So it has to be somewhere near the top of, like, I don't really like when it, like, I'll trade something that's a little bit sloppier if it's literally at the top of its range. For example, like I traded KAVL because it broke out at the top of his range right here. Is at the top of his range. So I took this entry right here, even though like it wasn't a lot of consolidation, I still took it. It was only like, look at this. I mean, it wasn't like the greatest or anything like that at the time, but it's looking like this, and I took it because it's high volume at the top of his range. Like that's good enough for me, in my personal opinion. I think I did this. I think I was looking at ACB. I think I looked at the same thing on ACB too. Where I was looking at ACB here, you can see it's at the top of his range and it's a little bit sloppy, right? But I still took it here mainly because, like I said, like it's at the top of his range. It's breaking the top of his range. There's who's selling this at this point, especially if it's kicking up some volume. This almost deterred me, honestly. But I don't know, because I thought I should have took it here, but I didn't, or I could have took it here. But yeah, like we started putting in some like actual closer to the top of the range here. I just took it. I wanted to take CGC. CGC had many breakouts, but I didn't take any of them. CGC had a good one here. Also had a pretty good one here. I'd have probably been stopped out of all of these regardless. Not this one, but the ones I was thinking about. It also had a great one here. I don't know why I didn't take this one, because I was actually looking at it. I was looking at this one and I was like, oh, this looks pretty good actually. And it broke out and I did nothing. I just watched. But yeah, this entry right here would probably been baller. This probably could have been a great trade. 2.4% entry and the stock went up 278. Yeah, 278. The stock went up 38%. Yeah. That's a killer trade right there. That's a massive R trade right there, and it has potential to keep going up. Um, I pull it back a lot in pre-market though, but whatever. So that's how I would handle AMTX personally. I I didn't trade it because I didn't see any good entries, but um, obviously it had something here that you could have took, but I didn't take it personally. Like I said, I like to see consolidations more at the top of his range, and I could have took this one right here. I don't think this one would have been bad. This is at the top of his range. You got about 3 hours left of the day. It's kind of at the end of the day, but it's right after lunch, which is a time where a lot of stocks start to break out, and you'd have made some money on this. So this is like a 0.1%. I wouldn't have put my whole account into it though, but 0.1% entry. It went up 9. It could have been a 9R trade. Could have been. What are you talking about? Death Charter, where did you enter? What exactly are you talking about? So you said you got hit with some death candles, pretty much. So you got hit with some. Oh, you said you took it early below the consolidation. So are you talking about like here or? I'll just. But yeah. So pretty much, you could have traded a. You could have. They did give you an entry, but I don't think this entry was that good, and I don't think this entry really had the volume that will make me like react to it. You know, like because right here, this traded 31.7K, this traded 36, this traded 28, this traded 36. So the volume, this is trading average volume, and I like to. You see this bar right here, this traded 127, this one traded 64. This doubled the volume, and you're not going to know exactly if it's going to double, but you'll see a massive volume increase, right when this is breaking out. You'll be able to look and see like, okay, this thing is trading. You should be able to predict it. Like if this is in the first minute of the bar and it's already traded more than 64K, you can say like, okay, this is going to be a big volume bar pretty much. So you got in around 6. So okay, so then you got in probably around here, and then these were the death candles that got you out. Your Twitch chat is bugged? No, I think my Twitch chat just sucks for some reason. I don't know why. It's probably not you. But yeah, so AMTX, that's how I would have handled it personally. It was I mean, it was a good trade, regardless, like it was a good trade. I mean, it gave some decent opportunities. And that's all you can ask for on most of these. Because like I said, if you'd have took this, and let's say you'd have took this entry, now I personally wouldn't have taken this because like I said, there's no volume. I didn't think you got a real setup here. I think maybe the setup here was right here. But once again, because this formed a nice consolidation. You can see it broke with volume. You could take this, but this is already down. 10% is not that bad. I'm not going to lie. 13% is not that bad. I thought this looked a lot worse than what it really is. 13% is not that bad. So that's probably my fault. The best entry was right here for sure then. Because 10% not really that bad. But let's see how much it went up. It went up 29% and then pulled up 10%. 13%. Okay. I guess. I don't know. But pretty much I see the success rate when you trade at the top of the breakout range to be the highest. Obviously, not going to be the best risk reward. You're trading at the top of the breakout range. But reversal setups are always going to be $220. Oh, you're talking about these. Oh, okay. Okay, so you got in around 6, which was probably here. So you probably took a reversal setup. Was up massively depending on your risk that you put in here or your stop. And then these bars kind of killed your trade, is what you're saying. Yeah, those bars would have killed your trade for sure. Yeah, it happens, man. But hey, at least you had the opportunity. That's better than what most people get, right? So you get the opportunity. That's something to be happy about, in my opinion. You get the opportunity to make money, and you probably really didn't lose anything on this trade, unless you held it. Now, if you held it because you prayed and hope it came back, eh, not that's not ideal. Me personally, I would never if I had a plan of action. Not that I'm saying I follow this every single time, but let's say I took this trade here. My stop would have been at the low of this candle, 592, right? So uh, I would have got in at the top of this bar. That's theoretically what I should have got in at. My I'd have been at a 1.66% risk on this trade because I use a low candle stop mainly, right? Because I found that, I mean, my testing and what I've actually observed also, which is the testing and the actual observation matches, which is kind of rare. But um, this would have been like a 10R trade, right? At the max. So when it comes down and you're like, oh, it broke below. I didn't get time to sell out. All right. So let's say you're like looking at this right now. This is still a great trade. This is still like a 4 or 5R. This is like a 5R trade still for me. So there's no way I would personally just gamble and hope and pray and say, well, I hope it goes back up. I try to stick to my plan. I sell out when it breaks I sell partials when it breaks the 9 EMA, also sell partial when it breaks the Bollinger Bands. And you can see I have 12-3 Bollinger Bands, right? So the period's 12, standard deviation's 3. And the reason why I do that, why I take partials or I fully sell out of the position, is because this shit happens a lot in these. I don't really want to call this one low float small cap, but it is low float small cap and it's speeding up something crazy. As you can see, it's up 129% in 3 days. There's no real reason that you should be holding on to something like this, hoping and praying that it keeps going up. It already made a massive move for you that you can win on. That's the truth. I mean, in my opinion, these things revert a lot. I mean, let's look at them. Like, I mean, I go through small caps every single day, right? They revert. You can see most of these revert in a couple of days, right? Look at this one, ran up. All right, ran up here. And then if you would have just kept hoping and praying, you'd have got all the way down here, right? So, and I mean, that's a lot of reward to lose. So this one ran up a lot, 27%, and then it went down 19%. You'd have, like I said, it's not a real great reason to hold on to these. I don't have a list of small. Okay, here's all the small caps, but yeah, you can see, like, look at back, ran up, ran down. So hoping and praying on these, probably not ideal in most cases. Most of these just run out of gas, man. They just run out of momentum. Literally, most of these just run out of momentum, right? So if you want to bet, like, but once again, if you catch one of these, look at this one, Veritone. Like, if you catch one and you hold it outright, 200% move. Like, I caught I caught GoEV. I didn't hold them the full time. I got into GoEV at like what I think $3, $2.99. This thing went up 69% from my position. Right? That's massive trade, but I didn't execute properly. So I didn't get the full move, but that's just how it happens. I was trying to execute on this one. I had a great move in it. I think I got in at, I don't even know what I got. I think I got in at 17. No, I think I got in before 17. I don't know. Don't remember. Anyways, yeah, I mean, there's going to be a bunch of, if you trade these small cap low floats, there's going to be a bunch of instances where you're like, damn, like, oh, if I would have held, if I'd have let it just hit my stop, it'll never hit my stop and I would have made huge money. Then there'll be times where you're like, oh man, I took partials, but it just kept running. Or, oh, I sold out because I was nervous or I was scared. And it just kept running. That's the name of the game, man. That is that is literally the issues, conquering that right there. How to trade these in a way that, I mean, I personally want to trade them in a way that's just gonna flip my account and stop worrying about how to get the best risk reward on them, because they all have the opportunity to do outliers. Like you're looking at stocks that can literally move 100% in a day. So if you can figure out a way to get your account in it, they all have opportunities to move 100% in a day. And I haven't seen any, like, look at this. As long as you're trading the liquid ones and you're not bullshitting, just doing random shit. I mean, my scans pick up the liquid ones. What's up with my dog? Uh, yeah, I think he'll be all right. I don't think I have to go address that. But yeah, if as long as you're trading the actual liquid ones, right? And you're not just bullshitting, trading ones that's illiquid. Like if you're trading something like this, look how illiquid this is. This is 22.5K shares at $1. You can get stuck in it. This has all types of dry periods. So if something like this gets halted, you can get literally destroyed. But most of the ones that's liquid, when they halt, they're halting up. They don't usually halt down. The ones that's really liquid and making big moves, you just gotta be very cautious about. Like that's why I said I got an IDN, because I knew, like, I was like, okay, I don't know how much of my account I had. I think I had like over 10% of my account in this. No, I think probably more, honestly. No, I had like 10% of my account. I'm like, okay, this trading no volume on some 5-minute periods. This literally just wasn't moving. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, in the spread's terrible. I'm like, I can get stopped out of this, and this can gap down 3-4% on the stop out. It can slip down, I should say. And I'm like, okay, I'm not about to deal with all that. I'm saying that's too risky. So I got out. But I got out and then look, and ran crazy. I mean, I want to win, but I also don't want to die trying to win. Like that defeats the purpose. Playing it too risky. So, but yeah, we gotta make sure the ones that you in actually have volume. That's a huge thing. You don't look that great. You actually look pretty good though, but you also don't have the volume. So we don't know about you. 31.8 times at $2 pretty much. Traded volume in the aftermarket. Had multiple periods of no volume. No. Are we about to wrap this stream up? ASIP, are you trying to make a comeback? Bro, I didn't look. I was not looking. It did the bounce, but I never checked. I never actually checked. My goodness. I don't think I would have caught it anyways, to be honest. Yeah, probably not. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. I don't think I would have caught it anyways. And it's like trading non-existent volume. I guess. Whatever. All right, so we got a couple of these that actually, is this liquid? Doesn't, maybe. Not really. We got AMTX, so we got the small caps we can look at trading for the next couple of days. Curie one, I don't know. It's not that bad. I guess we probably dump both of these off. Doesn't matter. We choose them in the morning. Regardless, we go over everything and choose in the morning. SLRX. Actually, you're not small cap low flow. Well, I mean, you're pretty much what we'd be looking at. Okay. FLGC. What is this one? Oh, we already added that. Oh no, we didn't add it because the value. Are we sure this one's gonna be a liquid? Seems like it's trading a lot of volume. Post market buzz 411%. And it made the scan. I don't know. All right, if it shows on Monday, we probably. Right. This one is what? Software. We can get rid of all these EPs. I guess we can add IDN. And yeah, I guess we can add FedEx. I told y'all I don't think FedEx can hold that gap, and it absolutely did not. Make it a mega cap company that is gapping up like that, bro. 18-20%, and it don't usually like the ADR is like 2, like bro. You gapped up 10 times your ADR. Like you're not about to have a significant move. Like that's going to be a super rare case. Something like that's going to happen. That's You're almost never going to see something like that. Because there is a range where like the gap to ADR ratio kind of just says like, yeah, this has a higher chance of failing because like it's just too extended on the gap up. Like it's just too extended. Forge Global Gap EPS. So we don't have news for this. This looks really strong. 2 days ago, Forge releases Forge Pro, a major milestone towards institution trade order man system for private company securities. Okay, and it released it. It released it in the morning. So how's this working? It released it in the morning. Oh, no. Well, it did run up during the day. So it did have some strength during the day, I guess. And now it's showing like other people buying into it, like after. I think is this what we was looking at? Yeah, this is what we was looking at. Hmm. I don't know. Looks interesting. I don't know. This one's it's be interesting. I don't even know what to label this one as. The news is don't seem that strong. Hmm, interesting. Let's see what this one's doing. Seeking Alpha News. Messimo stock jumps after company to evaluate separation of consumer business. I never heard of this before. The company is splitting pretty much. Okay, Messimo Corporation Board of Directors authorized management to evaluate the separation of, and this is what it's gapping up on. That hasn't even happened yet. It's weird. They're gonna split businesses. I don't know anything about this. Therefore, I can't trade as the EP. I will probably flag this one. I would be interested in watching it, but yeah, that was weird. All right, so we got any bounces? SIP? Yeah, no. We already looked at that. Gap up shorts? No. Yeah, and the gap up short has not been working at all. It's like terrible, 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 terrible. All right, let's go through this real quick. OCGN. What does OCGN do actually? It's not a weed stock, is it? No, it's not. It can't be. I'm not. I don't remember. Should just ask ChatGPT. Actually, let's do that. Don't show my information. Okay. Well, I have not ate. It'd be nice to eat. Okay. I do not have ChatGPT on this computer. I do not have my stuff logged in. Okay. Can you just let me in? Is that not an option? Uh, what does OCGN do? Okay. Yes, I use ChatGPT to tell me information on companies, because it's a genius idea. That's why, and I'm smart. And instead of just doing all types of research, I let ChatGPT do it because it should have information on all the companies on the stock market, and it does. Yep. All right, moving on. Call me lazy, call me whatever you want. When did Tilray do all this? What? Yeah, ugly ass. This thing is illiquid as hell. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm talking shit. It's not illiquid, but it looks like it. This one also had an hourly breakout. All of them had an hourly breakout. This is a great example of what theme trading looks like. This is a great example of what it looks like.